Welcome to Kidmissing TV. I'm your host, Angelina Wilson, and our boy has a name. Welcome to Kidmissing TV. I'm your host, Angelina Wilson. As you know, today was the press conference where they gave our little boy his name back. The boy in the box, America's Unknown Child, was in fact Joseph Augustus Zarelli, born in January 13th, 1953. He had just turned 4 years old when he was brutally beaten to death. This case was the first in a new program at the Philadelphia Police Department using the genetic genealogy. The Vidocq Society in the cemetery will put a new headstone on his grave with his name. It was an international investigation. The police have said they're looking for DNA on clothing that was found with him. His father and mother were both determined by DNA. They're hoping that by the press conference they will get a lot of tips. They said they had family members, maybe his siblings, I'm not sure, or at least one of them, in the homicide unit talking with them yesterday. That's amazing. He had siblings from both parents, from both sides. In other words, both parents had children with other people as well as with each other. He was from the area of 61st and Market Street, and I'm told that that is like the Little Italy. And Zarelli is definitely an Italian name. People have already found who they believe to be his father. And based on a clue that the detective gave, I think they're probably right. The detective said the name on the birth certificate of the father isn't exact. Well, I think I know what he meant, because they found an Augustus Joseph that was an obituary, who was most likely this little boy's father. And that would be what he meant, that the name was reversed. And it was probably reversed because who the heck wants to saddle their kid with the name Augustus? Just saying. And it's strange that he has a German middle name, because Augustus is German, and his father had a German first name and an Italian last name. Wondering if the father's mother wasn't German, because Augustus is German. It is not Italian at all. Joseph would be, but Augustus would not be. So, excuse me. They left a lot of questions for us because there were a lot of things they wouldn't say. And the press is saying that the father's family is denying it. Maybe they don't understand what they did with the DNA and they think that they messed it up and moved genes around. No, that's not what they do. They just make copies of it so they have more of it to work with. They don't move genes around. And it's not just the order of your genes, it's the actual A's, C's, T's, and G's that make up who your parents are. That's simplified. A's, C's, T's, and G's. That's like I said, that's simplified. That's just if they wrote it out, they I don't know if they even use A's, C's, T's, and G's anymore, but that's one way they could do it. And how many matches of A's, C's, T's, and G's that are in the same place on the gene or on the DNA. So but they also match centimorgans. Now they match centimorgans and segments with centimorgans in them, stuff like that. So I can't imagine being a sibling of this child now in my 70s or 80s, finding this out, that dear Lord, this was my brother. I certainly pray for them, because it's got to be absolutely horrendous. And I do want to mention, and I will link it in the description here, because I have the link, that I did a live stream this morning with Mo from Deep Dark Truth podcast, that will go up at some point on her podcast, but it was a live stream and you can watch it now. Sorry, my legs hurt, mostly my foot. About him getting his name back. So it was fun. I also have the Philadelphia Inquirer wanting to talk to me again, which is amazing. Again, as soon as I have the article, I will definitely link it for you. Is there anything I missed? I took notes this morning, but they're a disaster. Yeah, I wonder if it was international because he still had family living in other countries, like closer family. Excuse me. They're hoping, like I said, to get a ton of tips. They didn't give a phone number, though, for those tips. They also didn't show a picture of Joseph, so all I have is the picture at, well, when you're looking at it, it's on the right, but it's on my left as I'm pointing. I'm pointing over my left shoulder, but when you're looking at it, it's on the right. That they used with his years of birth and death and his name. So that is what you're looking at. They didn't answer any of the questions about his medical condition, any of it. They were rather cryptic in a lot of what they said. So it will be interesting. So I can't wait for everything to come out, you know, because there's a lot that wasn't said. It was very obvious. And if you want to know more about that, like I said, go to the link provided and watch the recording of the live stream that I did with Mo. I'd like to thank her for that. Again, that's Deep Dark Truth Podcast. We had a wonderful talk afterwards. It was nice to FaceTime with someone. Well, it wasn't really FaceTime, but it's kind of. Thank you so much for joining me. Please click that subscribe button. Please share this video. I don't usually ask you that, but in this case, I'm asking. Please share this video. Please hit subscribe if you are new. That bell for all notifications, or you can customize them. As always, it's free. Thank you for joining me. God bless you. God bless this little boy and his siblings. Bye-bye.